Our society has instilled in us life-work balance. They talk about it all the time. These big corporations will talk about work-life balance, but what if they have sold you a lie? What if it's nothing more than a false sense of care about their employees in order to significantly get more profit off of you? They sold you this lie so you don't get burnt out. You see, just like cattle, if you overwork your farm animals, then they won't be as productive. That's exactly where this lie took place within human history. People were overworked. They unionized and they rebelled. And they said, we can no longer have this bullshit because it is affecting our bottom dollar. These wellness programs and flexible hours and mental health days are just a gimmick. They're secretly designed to maximize efficiency. The psychological trap that makes you self-optimize your entire life around your job is a lie. It's been given to you from your corporation because they want to work you to death. It's just the fact. And I know it seems grim and I know it seems like I'm being overzealous here. I'm not telling you anything that you probably haven't already considered. I am just explaining to you how and why the psychological trap that makes you self-optimize your entire life around your job is designed intentionally so. It was designed. It's not something that they did because they care about you. Businesses and corporations do not care about you. Trust me, I've ran one, I've owned two. They don't care about you. They don't. They simply have a false veil, an illusion, if you will, of mental health and, oh, I care about you and pronouns and this and that. They don't give a shit. They want to whip you into submission. That's all they are attempting to do. And if they have to do it by giving you a couple hours for mental health, oh, they have to give you a day. Oh, you're feeling not so well, Tom? Let me give you a day off. I care about you, but get back to work. Who's going to take your shift, Tom? Who's going to make the company money? Dinero. That's all they care about. That is what this video is about. I'm going to be explaining the history of that and why it is so monumental to capitalism in the first place, especially within the United States. It is nothing more than a psychological trap. These corporations will have an approved balance for you and they will recommend this, but it's not because they care about you. It's because they want to optimize efficiency. That's all they do. This will shift your perspective entirely. So hear me out. A long time ago, we had slaves, and these slaves worked endlessly. They resented the master. They hated his guts. They would slit his throat if they had a chance. They were overworked, and they weren't paid at all. They were simply just made to live and to survive. Then we leveled up. I truly believe that instead of abolishing slavery, what we did was, and this may sound crazy, guys, but hear me out. Instead of abolishing it, we just leveled down who was considered to be a slave. During the Industrial Revolution, in particular, we implemented this strategy in order to improve efficiency. You see, every corporation, if they're a big corporation, now mom and pop may not be as strategic about this, but if you work for a big corporation, I'm talking about Facebook, I'm talking about Amazon, I'm talking about Walmart, anything under that umbrella of consumerism, and even big corporations such as Evergy or maybe anything under the sun, any corporation, they all think the exact same way and they all implement the same exact strategy. That strategy is they want you to think they care about you. And the fact is, surprise, they don't. They found out that by lying to you and making you feel like they do care about you, you know what? We're just going to give you a 5-hour or 5-day work week, 8 hours a day. That's it. You get to enjoy your Saturday You get to enjoy your Sunday. You get to go out. You get to buy things. You get to hang out with your family. You get to enjoy your life. That is a trap. You are being trapped if you work for someone else on an hourly or even a salary basis. You are being trapped. You're a slave. I can explain why. You're a slave because you work for hardly pennies. If you are making $60 an hour, then I guarantee you that company is making $300 an hour from you. And the second you don't prevail in their line of whatever makes them profitable, they will fire you, they will can you, they will throw you to the wayside, and they will replace you. They do not care about you. You are simply an X or an O on a spreadsheet. That's all you are. It sounds morbid, yeah, sure, but I'm telling you the truth. Most people will not tell you this because they want you to work for them. I urge you to work for yourself. Do something for yourself because this whole strategy has to come to an end. And the fact is that it won't. For the majority of people, they will be slaves their entire life. They will be slaves and they'll be happy being slaves because they're content. They can turn their brain off. They can work their 9 to 5. They can listen to Joe Rogan while they work. They can respond to funny memes inside of a group text chain amongst their friends, and they can turn off their brain. They are just waiting for 4 o'clock when they can punch out for the day and escape the factory. On the other hand, I think that you, if you have any sort of drive, you yourself should create your own business. You can do this. I know that job security is a massive thing for the majority of people. Job security is everything. You're like, I have bills to pay. I can no longer take risks. I have a family to feed. Well, my friends, I hate to break it to you, but that corporation is not as safe as you presume them to be. Your job security is not safe. It's not safe, especially amongst this AI revolution. Your job is nothing more than a means to an end. They don't care about you. They care about the task that you offer them, that you can fulfill. And the second that they can do it cheaper, the second that they can offset it into the Philippines, or the minute that AI can take over what you do more efficiently, more effectively, quicker, and easier, they're going to implement that strategy and they are going to kick you to the curb, girlfriend. They're going to get rid of you. And it all stems from this one little lie, the 5-day work week. The 5-day work week, where in which they care about you. And by the way, the 5-day work week wasn't just given to us. It was decided upon from unions that fought. That's why we have Labor Day. We have Labor Day in order to have workers' rights. And as a worker, amongst this capitalistic system, you have the autonomy to do anything you damn well please. You can leave a job, you can join another job, you can hire people yourself and create a business, or you can work for someone else. You can shift your everyday challenges to take on other things within the same corporation. You can leave and do something totally different. You can go back to school and become educated in something and then go back to the workforce. You can do anything you want to do. But whatever it is that you do, just know that you are making money for the people at the very top while they are sifting off breadcrumbs. So you'll shut the fuck up, put your head down, and get to work. All of this nicety and all of this care, it's all a delusion. It's an illusion that makes you become delusional. You're delusional if you think that people care about you. My mom, for instance, has worked for the same company for almost 20 years. You know what they gave her? You know what they gave her? They gave her a fucking plastic trophy. Thank you very much. You've made us millions of dollars. Thank you so much. She works at a call center. They don't care. They do not care. It's sad, but it's the truth. I say, Mom, why don't you work on your wax melt business? People love your wax melts. That's what she's truly passionate about, and they're incredible. I think that you should buy them if you're watching this, but unfortunately, she doesn't think anyone will because she's scared. She's comfortably numb. And the majority of people are comfortably numb, and I've felt that way before. I've been down and out at my darkest times throughout life and said, man, I'm trapped. You're not trapped. Now, if you want to have more time, then you have to work early on and you have to work for yourself, because this 40-hour work week bullshit doesn't mean anything when you own your own business. You work until the job is done. And when it's done, you work more. But at least in the future, if you become successful, you can put that work off onto other idiots that are willing to take an hourly wage. That's what it comes down to. This 40-hour work week bullshit is nothing but a farce. It's nothing but a way to entrap you into a corporate holocaust. And yeah, I said that. Sue me. I don't care. It's basically what it is. They're not actually killing people. Although in other countries, people are jumping off of buildings because they're so miserable while they're at work. And you might think to yourself, well, that's natural. People off themselves all the time. Not while they're at work. Apple. Why does Apple in China have to have nets around the building? Because people are sick of working like that. It's terrible conditions. It's horrible. They don't want to do it. They don't have this 40-hour work week, but you know the secret? There is multiple different ways that you can manipulate the populace or the public into performing at an optimal level. You can whip them into submission and make them fear you, like they do in North Korea, like they do in China, or you can instill capitalism and say, I don't care what you do, just do it. I don't care what you do. We care about you. We love you. We're going to give you the option to do whatever it is that you want to do under the sun. You know why? Because they don't care how you make your money. They just want you to be efficient. You can work for a business. You can work for yourself. They want you to bring in tax dollars, tax revenue, so they can spend, so they can get rich while you're slaving away. That's all they want. But on a smaller macro level, or on a micro level, that's on a macro level. On a micro level, these corporations are lying to you. They just are. This 40-hour work week is nonsense, and it's getting ready to go away. Do you know that overseas, people live great, right? They live amazing. In Italy, for instance, they have 2-hour lunches, and they go home and they eat lunch with their family. And for the record, only one person works in the household. The other, typically it's the wife, the female. She takes care of the kids. She has a great bond with the children, and she teaches them skills each and every single day, and instills love and passion and drive and ingenuity into her children because she has a relationship with them. In the United States, that's not the case. They are not doing that here. And it's simply because they are optimizing us whilst burning both candles, both ends of the candle at the same time. They are just wearing us so thin until we eventually evaporate into dust and become nothing. We're going to be nothing if we continue this. And this is not a very strategic way of optimizing a workforce's skills and labor anymore. It used to be, because see, in the past, before the internet, before people would actually speak, do you know why it's so taboo to talk about your salary? Because they don't want you to know how little you're making compared to the person that is above you. They don't want you to know that you're being paid absolute peanuts while the company is raking in billions of dollars or millions of dollars or an exorbitant amount of money, whatever that amount of money is. They don't want you to know that you're just getting a very small percentage and you don't really matter, even though you work exceptionally hard. And you know what? That's capitalism. But back in the day, before people began to talk about what they made, it was really taboo to speak about your salary. And the reason was because they didn't want you to talk amongst your peers and rally together, unionize, and then say, guys, we know how much money you're making. We want a cut of that pie. We just want a slice. We don't want the whole thing. We don't want the cherry. You can keep the cherry. It's your business. But we want a hefty slice. We want what we put into this. We want equity in this company. No, you don't get that. You don't get that. We'll give you the false illusion of care. Like, we care about you. Oh, you work so hard. Let's all clap in the next meeting. Johns gave 20 years of his life to this company. I'm so grateful for you, John. You're so excellent. You know what we're going to do for you? We're going to give you a 50% off coupon for a steak dinner for you and your wife to go out and do something special. But make sure it's on a Saturday because your ass better be back here on Monday because you have some new work to do. That's what they do. That's all they do. That's the honest truth. And no one else on here is willing to say it. No one on YouTube is willing to say it because it's depressing. It's all depressing. But guess what? Just because something is depressing doesn't mean you should hide your head in you stick your head into sand and pretend it doesn't exist. Like you clam up like a turtle when it's under immense stress or being attacked and you just clam up into its shell. You shouldn't just hide because things are scary and because if it's real, then you should act upon it. Don't bullshit yourself and don't fall for the bullshit that these corporations are telling you. You need to stand up for yourself. You know what you would do and the impact you would have for the people around you that work with you every single day. And for the record, these people that you work with, you spend more time with them than you do your own family. You speak to them more than you speak to your wife or your husband, more than you hang out with your children. They own you. They own you. And so if I ask you how much to own you, what I have to pay you, you better be very careful with the number you give me because if it's low, then you basically sold yourself into slavery. You signed over the contract and you are now a slave. So, but if you guys all organize together, it would scare these corporations shitless. And that's why they have this false veil of security. They have this false sense of care and compassion. That 40-hour work week was designed intentionally in order to make you feel like they care about you, in order to optimize, because they figured that if it was anything over 40, then people would get burnout, people would gain resentment, and people wouldn't be as passionate about what they do. They'd put it off. They would say, fuck you, I'm not going to do it. They would be rebellious. They would be angry and they would feel like they were being taken advantage of. That's the only reason why we have a 40-hour work week. It wasn't because the unions fought for it. Yeah, sure they did. But the only reason they gave into it was simply because it is better for the corporation for you to only work 40 hours than to work 60. That's the little secret, guys, to business. That's why you give someone a day off. You have a day off. What do you mean I can have a day off? I'm a human being. I can have whatever fucking day off I damn well please. But you have to have money in the bank to think like that. You have to be willing to make money in other ways. You have to be able to make money on your own. And that's why I highly urge you to start your own business on the side. Do it on the side. If you work 8 hours, work 6, devote 2 hours per day towards that side business until that business takes off. And then you could stick it to the person that's been taking advantage of you and inducting you into modern day slavery. That's what you have to do. That is what you have to do. So if you have any drive left whatsoever, or you're sick of your life and you want to do something for yourself for once, instead of for the people at the very top that are living on yachts and going on exorbitant trips and beautiful sceneries and eating the finest of food and drinking the finest wine, if you want to have that for yourself, then it all starts now. And if you don't, then go back to work. You're a broke, wagey slave. That's one thing Andrew Tate said that actually stuck with me. I know he speaks a bit, he's exaggerated with what he says. He's scrupulous. He says things and takes them to a 12 in order to attract attention. Then he brings them back and dilutes it into a way that makes sense and is more palatable. That's exactly what he does. He's a brilliant guy. Brilliant guy. But he says that you're a broke little wagey, and that's all you are. That's all you are. And it's sad. I don't mean to disparage you by saying this, but that's the honest truth. You have to start caring about yourself. If you don't care about you, no one else will. I don't give a fuck. If your corporation says they care about you, they don't. You have to take your life into your own hands and figure it the fuck out for you. There is no such thing as job security. You don't have it now, you'll never have it. I don't care if you've worked for a company for 50 years. They will throw you to the curb like a damaged little, I don't even know, raccoon or something. I have no idea where I was going with that, but you get the point. They will kick you to the curb, sister. They don't care about you. So forget the 40-hour work week. That was designed to enslave you. Do something for yourself for once, and you will thank you in the future. You will thank yourself for doing something for you. And hopefully you'll thank me for inspiring you. So make sure you like this video. I'll see you next time. And remember, don't fall for this bullshit. You can do it on your own. It just takes time.